Next Step Product Development. I'm Dan Ruby, the editor-in-chief of NeXTWorld magazine.
Hi, and I'm Janine Bernard, publisher of NeXTWorld. Thank you all for coming. We're very pleased to be hosting this evening of recognition for the individuals and companies who stake their future on NeXTSTEP, the world's acclaimed application development environment. The proof of that is in the pudding and the exceptional suite of third-party applications that exploit the built-in advantages of NeXTSTEP. Tonight we're here to celebrate the spirit of innovation that is embodied in those third-party applications, tools, and peripheral products. We will present 17 awards for the best of breed products, but the spirit is present in all of the nominated products. And the ultimate winners are NeXTSTEP users, whose work lives are enriched by the abundance of great products available for NeXTSTEP computers.
Next third parties took quite a risk by embracing NeXTSTEP. At NeXTWorld, we know all about risk as well because our enterprise is also entrepreneurial. To prove the point, we're going to start the evening with some risky business of our own. We invited you here for an award ceremony, not a roast, but we couldn't resist sprinkling in a few jokes. And so, presenting the entertainment portion of tonight's program is our comedy troupe, the Capital Leads.
This is N, the final arbiters of truth in this world and the next.
Good evening. Welcome to NNNN, the only national network devoted completely to news about nets and the rest of the computer industry. Our top story tonight, sources at Hewlett-Packard confirmed rumors that the computer maker is planning to license NeXTSTEP. These sources insisted that their version of NeXTSTEP will be fully integrated into Hewlett-Packard's product history. For example, under HP's reverse Polish notation, click and drag will be replaced by drag and click.
That's right, Dan. According to our reports, HP was determined not to make the same mistake as IBM and firmly secured the rights to use NeXTSTEP version 2.0. Hewlett-Packard has also licensed the color black from Next for use on its latest line of slide rules.
The United States Environmental Protection Agency has placed a temporary restraining order on Intel Corporation to hold up commercial release of the Pentium processor. The EPA said the measure was sparked by concern over the chip's possible contribution to global warming.
And now, as we often do here on the National Next Network, we're going live to Next headquarters in Redwood City for a link with Next spokeswoman Janine Bernard.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The third wave of computing is going to leapfrog existing technology. We're aiming these workstations at the higher education market. Now, you might think that few students or academics can actually afford these $10,000 scholars workstations. But Next isn't just a workstation, it's a professional workstation. In this case, for professional scholars. Independently wealthy professional scholars. Shop at Businessland.
Now, when most people are having a tough time at work, they can talk to their peers. But what about those guys at the top? As the saying goes, it's lonely up there. But NNNN cares, and that's why we've made room in our show for Dr. Dan Biscott, the computer industry's most popular phone-in therapist. Welcome, Dr.
Thanks, Carlo. Okay, our first caller tonight is Bill from Redmond. What's your problem, Bill?
Well, Doctor, no one respects me. No matter how much money I make, people still say I It's true I was 7 years late on that GUI thing. But when we shipped our inferior product, everybody bought it anyway. Now there's this new phrase, what'd you call it, the thing-oriented software.
Do you mean object-oriented?
Objects, things, whatever. The point is, we make it, people will buy it. But let's face it, they have to buy it. What hurts, though, is that nobody really loves my software. Nobody really trusts it.
So basically, Bill, you're having a trust problem. Or should I say an anti-trust problem? I can put you in touch with some very understanding people at the Federal Trade Commission. Give them a call, okay, Bill? Bye. Okay, our next caller is John from Cupertino. Go ahead, John. What's your computer industry problem?
Yes, doctor, here's my dilemma. I was quite happy at my old job at the soft drink company, but then this young fellow came to me and said, do you want to spend the rest of your life selling sugar water, or do you want a chance to change the world?
And so you joined the Peace Corps?
No, actually, I took over a computer company, but here's the kicker. I realized the other day that I would rather sell sugar water. I like selling sugar water. Is that so wrong?
Well, you know, John, I'm pretty familiar with your company, and near as I can see, you're still selling sugar water. So why don't you go home and pour yourself a nice glass of pink lemonade? Next caller, go ahead.
How do you do, Doc? This is Scott from Mountain View.
10-4, good buddy. What's on your mind?
Well, Doc, I reckon I'm having myself kind of a drop in the old self-esteem.
Gee, I don't blame you, Bubba. My name's Scott. What's going on to make you feel so worthless?
Okay, it's like this. This buddy of mine's company isn't doing so well, but they got some good technology, and well, I'm a decent guy. I figured, okay, well, why not take advantage of the opportunity and pick him up cheap? So I offered him $200 for the whole shebang, but he didn't like it. I went up to $250, but he told me to take a hike.
You know, Scott,
What's the problem? Is my money dirty or something?
you know, Scott, I think maybe this guy's just a couple of pins short of a microprocessor. Thanks for calling. Next caller, you're on the air.
Hi, my name's Steve, and I have the biggest and best problem in the world.
Look, Steve, everybody's got problems. What makes yours so great?
Okay, I've got this computer company, and we've got the best application environment in existence. Anyway, this so-called friend of mine offered to buy the company for $250. 250 lousy bucks. Can you believe that? I mean, easily the thing is worth $1,000.
Steve,
Yeah?
what are you, brain dead? He offered $250 million.
$1 million? I gotta make a call.
Well, fellas, I think my work here is done.
Thanks, Doctor. Silicon Valley will sleep easy for another night. See you next time.
As you know, Dan, two of NeXT's largest customers in the defense and intelligence sectors have filed complaints with the Redwood City Chamber of Commerce claiming that Steve Jobs misled them about the capabilities of NeXTF software. A spokesman for the so-called black accounts said that Jobs' repeated claims of killer software were not quite up to snuff. Apparently, in 13 months of testing, neither the CIA nor the Air Force has actually been able to harm anyone with the software.
Well, maybe they haven't tried 3.1.
Well, it looks like we've got next on the remote. Here's Janine Bernard again, putting the latest English on the company's marketing position.
Good afternoon. I'm going to be honest with you folks. The professional workstation message didn't really catch on. So now we got a new approach, interpersonal computing. And the thing we really like about it is you can say it all in 3 letters. IPC. IPC kind of trips off the tongue, doesn't it? But just to show how committed we are to bringing good acronyms to the market, we're already working on new initials. The first new batch will be NPE. We haven't figured out what it stands for, but the important thing is that we've already spoken with the pundits and it's going to be industry acclaimed.
And some interesting new developments this hour at NeXT. Concentrating on its strengths in object-oriented software, the company has decided to stop manufacturing hardware and is Explaining now how this radical decision was reached is next minority shareholder H. Ross.
Car. If a thing don't run, you just got to fix it. Pop open that hood, roll up your sleeves, stick in your hands, and fiddle with the grease. Okay, engine don't run. What are we gonna do? We're gonna cry about it? Heck no. We'll get rid of the engine. Now we got a car without an engine. Well, fine, but see, that's the beauty part. Because we still got the body. Can't be afraid of this stuff, folks. Just got to do it. It's like a crazy in the basement. Just got to deal with it. Okay. Lose the doors. If it don't work, lose the hood. In fact, get rid of the whole dang body, because let's face it, all we ever wanted was the chassis anyway. Now we can sell a chassis, folks. Or if we can, I'm sure Steve can. See, that's the beauty part all over again. We thought we were in the car business, but we're in the chassis business all along. Ain't life a beautiful thing?
Thank you, Ross. As part of an ongoing reorganization, Next last night named its new Executive Vice President for Sales and Marketing.
And on the heels of the decision to discontinue its hardware line, next President Steve Jobs said the company will take time to focus on the fundamentals of its business. Now, topping the list of measures, there are capitalizing the E in the Next logo. And hiring Frog Design to come up with a great new Next keychain.
And a move that registers high on the Richter scale, Next will require all registered developers to re-register for the development registrations they already hold in their capacities as registered developers.
In a completely unrelated development, the Japanese electronic giant Canon has announced plans to convert the old workstation factory in Fremont into the world's first robotic karaoke bar. President Clinton hailed the plan as a perfect example of the country's conversion to a peacetime economy.
Speaking of rebuilding, Marlo, let's go now to our next office architecture expert, Bob Vila.
Hi, I'm welcome to this old cube. Today I'm going to show you what you can do with some of that great nifty hardware you probably got laying around your offices. Lucky for us, the Next environment is rich in tools and reusable objects to help with those critical office projects. Now, building a table like this normally takes more than 2 days, even for an experienced carpenter. But using the Next machine as a platform, we were able to put one together in only 9 seconds. Watch. Now this table looks perfectly level, right? Wrong. At least not by industry standards. Here's where Next's unique objects and tools really come in handy. I'll just take my neuron modem. Wasn't using it anyway. And I'll just shim this baby up. I'll get it under here, just a couple of taps here and there, and voila! Perfectly level. At least now it'll mesh with the rest of the industry. Anyway, I hope this has helped. I'll be back next week with guest old cuber Peter Van Kylenberg. Till then, have an ergonomic day.
And we'll be right back after this message.
Hi, I'm not Steve Jobs, but I have the turtleneck. The other thing I have is financial independence, just like Steve. But here's my point, so can you. Did you ever wonder how to get $250 million from the Japanese with no money down? Did you ever wonder how to be best friends with rich and powerful people like H. Ross Perot? I put together a fabulous step-by-step program for accumulating fabulous wealth. I call it the Steve Jobs Wealth Accumulation Course. It gives simple directions for attaining your own financial independence. Take it from me, it just works. I did it, so can you. Best of all, the Steve Jobs Wealth Creation Course costs only $29.95. Well, unless you order the developer version, which costs $795.95. Call tonight, and I'll include a free unisex black turtleneck and a dull razor as my free gift to you.
No,
separation, and divorce.
And this just in from deep space. The developers at Stone Design, following a company-wide 4-month-long working retreat in Nepal, has announced their latest product. It will be called Designed Stoned.
Following the success of their products Diagram 2 and Concurrence 2, has announced their intentions to change the name of the company to Lighthouse 2.
Isn't that Pangea?
A familiar firm gained special notice at yesterday's NeXTWorld Magazine Product Awards. Pages by Pages was awarded the coveted Best of Beta Award for unfinished software.
If I don't ship my product by Expo, will that hurt?
There's one item on our community bulletin board tonight. The Next Alumni Association will be having a membership meeting in the employee cafeteria of General Magic, Monday, May 15th.
Okay, and now we'll be going back to Next offices in Redwood City for a special new marketing message from Next spokeswoman Jenny Bernard. I see she's got her mission critical hat on.
Good evening. Well, we never did figure out what NPE was good for, but we've come up with another set of initials, MCCA. And I happen to know what that stands for, Mission Critical Custom Apps. Thank you, everybody.
Well, this just coming into us now live, NeXTWorld magazine is announcing its new publication schedule, and from now on, the San Francisco-based journal, which has come out on a quarterly basis, will be published monthly. I've just been informed that NeXTWorld is no longer planning to publish on a monthly basis, but will be coming out bi-weekly. I don't know whether that means twice a month or... Well, except for the newsletter, which will come out once a month. No? No, it'll be every other month. No, wait a second. Every month. No, NeXTWorld magazine will come out at various times.
Investigative reporters have learned that Next is following its disengagement from the hardware market by planning to stop selling software as well. Next officials said that by selling absolutely nothing at all, the firm will likely triple profits by the end of the year.
Okay, and now we're going live again to Next headquarters.
You know, some of our competitors have tried to cast recent marketing plans at Next in a negative light. And I wanted to assure you that Next is doing better than ever. In fact, our latest market survey showed that we are uniquely positioned to win 100% of the market of people who buy neither hardware or software. And who have no money and no plans ever to buy anything. This, as you all know, is a nearly limitless market and one that is largely untapped.
Nice hat. That's our report for tonight. See you tomorrow and enjoy the show.
Dare I say it, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Jobs.
It is exceptionally warm in my heart to see all of you here tonight, and I would like to offer my congratulations to the winners in advance. I think a lot of us had doubts over the last 6 months whether there would be a NeXTWorld Expo, whether there would be a Next, whether there would be any software and developers left to give awards to. But I think the next 3 days are going to show us all that maybe there is a God. And if you had predicted to me 3 months ago what we're about to see over the next 3 days, I wouldn't have believed it either. So I think rumors of our collective death have been greatly exaggerated. And I guess in addition to congratulating the winners in advance, I asked Dan if I could come and offer a personal thank you to you folks. Because there's something about this that's got us all into this and has kept us all in it. Without your courage and your investment, we wouldn't be here either. And I think over the last 3 or 4 months, the depth of your convictions has been tested, and you're still with us. And from the depths of our hearts, we all at Next want to say thank you. And hopefully over the next 3 days, we're going to learn together that we really can pull this thing off. So thank you very much.
Just take a moment for a couple of credits on this skit. I want to give special thanks to Paul, Karen, and Steve Abel, 2 non-NeXTWorlders who volunteered their time and talent to help write and direct the Cat Police skit. And let me tell you, we put a lot of work into it. Tonight's overall program was a collaborative effort involving all of NeXTWorld's staff and contributing writers, many of whom you will meet tonight. But we couldn't have pulled this whole thing off without the tireless work of some of these behind-the-scenes people at NeXTWorld, including Graciela Ulate, Jackie Caldwell, and we have a couple of announcements we want to make tonight. First, we're pleased to announce that Next and NeXTWorld have signed a new multi-year agreement to assure that our publication has a strong future along with Next.
Yeah.
Come through a somewhat rocky time in the market, we're very pleased that extending our close relationship with Next, especially as it's poised to grow dramatically around the shipment of NeXTSTEP for Intel processors. To best serve that market and the growing base of NeXTSTEP users, we're announcing tonight that NeXTSTEP, we did it already, we'll move to a monthly frequency beginning in August. Really? And stay there. NeXTWorld Extra, which we previously published as a separate newsletter, will now be incorporated into the magazine, beginning with the June-July issue, which is available at the show starting tomorrow morning. Let's see. Also, one more thank you. Well, 2 more maybe. It would not have been possible to make these announcements tonight without the enduring support of our own corporate leadership. For having the wisdom to stand by NeXTWorld at a time when other publishers might not have, I want to express my deepest appreciation to Gordon Haight, the president of Integrated Media Inc., and to Pat McGovern, the chairman of International Data Group. And of course, we all have our deepest thanks to Next itself. In designing these third-party awards, we expressly excluded Next from consideration. But everybody knows that the real award for the most innovative product must go to NeXTSTEP, which by being years ahead of the competition provides all of us with a platform to do the great things that we do. So thanks to you, Steve. I'm sorry about the crazy end bit. Thanks also to the software development team at Next and to every Next employee for providing us with that opportunity. And now the awards. We conceive of the Best of Breed Awards as a way to focus attention on the outstanding group of third-party NeXTSTEP developers. As Next has successfully identified and begun to capture a market for corporate in-house software development, there's a tendency sometimes to overlook the importance of third-party development. Of course, in-house development and commercial software are not mutually exclusive. Every developer and user of a custom application also wants and needs a full set of shrink-wrap productivity apps, tools and utilities, and peripheral products. Fortunately, third-party developers have provided exactly that, an abundance of quality software products that are as good or better than any similar products on other platforms. In naming the awards, we resurrected an old phrase that was once commonly used at Next, best of breed, to suggest that NeXTSTEP, it was used to suggest that NeXTSTEP offered better application software choices than other operating environments. explosion of new software that really does live up to the name best of breed. In some cases, the products are designed with similar functionality to traditional bestsellers on other platforms, but with added features or improved performance. In other cases, the products embody entirely new approaches that improve on traditional paradigms. Can you believe I said paradigms? In both cases, what we found is that NeXTSTEP is a hotbed of innovation, even in the face of an uncertain market. And we certainly expect this trend to intensify now that NeXTSTEP for Intel processors is bringing in software base to a much larger potential market. As hotly contested as some of our award categories were this year, it's a sure thing that our choices will be even harder when we present the Bobs again in 1994. All right, so the awards, we got 14 product categories, and then there's also 3 special awards, which we'll present after that. In the interest of time and competition, we defined the product categories quite broadly. For example, instead of individual awards for word processing and desktop publishing, we have a single category of document creation. So we've tried to do that in a number of cases. Our judging panel was composed of 12 NeXTWorld editors and contributing reviewers. We chose this system of judging over a reader poll because we wanted to consider products that may not yet be in wide distribution. The judges met numerous times and exchanged voluminous email before we reached decisions on the nominees and on the winners. And since we couldn't afford an accounting firm to tabulate the ballots, we turned to our close friend, Lieutenant Robert Sullivan, to compile the results, which he sealed in envelopes and he'll now deliver to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Bob Sullivan. Thanks, Bob. Now, finally, there was also, and this was very relevant this year when a number of products were just shipping for the show or projected to ship for the show, and in some cases we were still finding this out. Well, we're still finding it out. So, anyway, so to explain the rules for eligibility, I'd like to introduce NeXTWorld Senior Editor for Reviews, Dan Lavin.
Lots of products were on schedule for release at Expo, which made our job very difficult, as you can imagine. So what we did was try to establish as late a cutoff date as possible. The eligibility requirements, which to give everyone a fair shot, we announced to the community in late March. I gave them a full month, which is much longer than they need to design a NeXTSTEP application. For that the products had to be in wide release beta 4 weeks before the opening of NeXTWorld Expo. And in order to win, that was for nomination. In order to win, they had to be shipping by right now. We pushed it right to the edge. Therefore, we had to make some educated guesses as to shipping status at the time we announced our nominees in late April. And for the most part, that worked out all right. The people who were nominated because they were in wide beta are still nominees, but they're not eligible to win if they were not shipping. And there were 2 cases here. Pages from Pages Software and Front Face from Endpoint were disqualified from winning because they didn't meet the second criterion. How did we decide who the winners were? We decided how the winners were by our judging criterion in the magazine. It's stated very clearly. We printed it in 2 separate issues. And best of breed means exactly that, and it has a lot to do with quality. It has a lot to do with stretching the bounds of software using NeXTSTEP, and it has a lot to do with thinking about the user. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. And now let's announce the winners. As we open the envelopes and call out the best of breed, I'd like the representative of the winning company to come up to this podium and to accept the trophy, and if you like, make brief comments. But nothing about Tibet, okay? All right. Presenting the award in document creation is NeXTSTEP contributing editor Lee Sherman.
In the document creation category, the Bob judges considered word processing, single-page layout, and technical documentation programs. While some of the programs available merely port over features available on other platforms, others take unique advantage of the capabilities of NeXTSTEP: display PostScript, drag and drop, and object linking. The nominees are PasteUp 2.0 from Right Brain Software, which combines the control of Quark Express, the usability of Alps PageMaker, and the power of NeXTSTEP in the first real single-page layout application for NeXTSTEP. WordPerfect from WordPerfect Corporation, the next step version of the leading PC word processor that provides high-end features such as style sheets, macro generation, multiple columns, and a built-in thesaurus. Pages from Pages software was disqualified because it hadn't shipped, like right now. And the winner is Paste Up, right brain software.
Right Brain President, Glenn Reed.
I'd like to thank people from Pages for not quite shipping on time. Best agreed that they would have definitely been up here instead of me. I poked myself in the head with a pencil a lot of times trying to get this out the door. Not sure if it helped or hurt it. If I'd known when we started this that it was impossible to accomplish, I'm not sure we would have started. We've got about 5 years of work done in 2 years, as near as I can tell. Thanks very much. This is a great honor. We'll take a look at that. Thanks.
Presenting the award in the business graphics category is Rick Reynolds, contributing editor.
Thank you. In the business graphics category, the Bob judges looked at graphics packages that were easy enough to be used by people who don't do graphics work for a living. 4 programs immediately stood out. And we had a tough time narrowing the category to our 3 nominees. The 3 we chose are actually complementary, and each is quite unique in abilities and interface. For general business users, or users who specialize in something other than graphics, these represent the current state of the art. The nominees are Concurrence from Lighthouse Design, a powerful presentation and outlining package. Diagram 2 from Lighthouse Design, the second generation of a diagramming and charting package that doesn't require background in fine arts. And Create from Stone Design, a PostScript drawing package for both the beginner and the experienced professional. And the winner is Diagram 2, Lighthouse.
First and foremost, I think this is an award for the entirety of Lighthouse Design. You people are wonderful to work with, and I think it's by virtue of your persistence and determination that we produce the stuff that we do. Secondly, I don't know what to say. I think every one of the developers here owes a debt of thanks to Steve. No matter what a pain in the it is to work with it. This is amazing stuff and allows us to produce the kind of stuff that we do. So in part, this is an award for us, and obviously this is a reflection on Steve. And thanks very much.
Presenting the award in the category of database software is Daniel Miles Kehoe, contributing editor.
Databases are key to NeXTSTEP success. Companies that deploy NeXTSTEP for order entry, for claims processing, for executive information systems, in fact, any mission-critical custom application, rely on database servers combined with customized front-end applications. NeXTWorld is aware that many of Next customers write their own database applications using NeXTDK. But many of Next customers also supplement their in-house efforts with a choice from NeXTSTEP's growing field of commercial database products. This is where the action is. Our nominees are complete access for Motion software. This brand new front-end application is a report writer that peeks into SQL databases and displays information as graphs and outlines, something we've never seen on any other platform. The second nominee is Parabase from Parabase Software Corporation, which allows end users to build custom front ends to relational databases without any programming. And finally, the third nominee, Datafile from Stone Design, NeXTSTEP's first real database, and perhaps the most popular one among NeXTSTEP's users. And the winner is Parabase from Parabase Software Corporation.
Thank you. Frankly, I wasn't expecting this, but I thank you all, users and everybody else out there. If you like Parabase as it is now, you hopefully will like the new versions even more. Thank you.
Okay, presenting the category of objectware is NeXTWorld Senior Editor Simpson Garfinkel.
NeXTSTEP's all about objects. That's because every NeXTSTEP program we use, be it Workspace Manager, Mail, or PayStuff, is assembled from a collection of objects. Some of those objects come from Next. They're in the application kit, the sound kit, DB kit, and others. While the idea of objectware is to let developers save time by purchasing needed functionality from third parties. Buy objects from other people. And those are the ones we looked at. In considering the objectware winners, we were most concerned in identifying objects which would save developers time. There's no sense to go through the hassle of buying a third-party object if you can write it yourself in less time. We therefore looked at difficulty of implementation, richness of implementation, and documentation. We also looked at the general usefulness, since having the best object in the world doesn't do you a lot of good if you don't need it. The nominees in the category were 3270 palette from Connextons, an object which makes it easy to access information on IBM mainframes from the NeXTSTEP environment. Anybody building front-end systems to access legacy applications on those old monster mainframes has a need for a 3270 palette. The second one was Barcode Kit from Hot Technologies, one of the most comprehensive sets of barcode generation routines that we've ever seen on any platform. Barcode Kit makes it easy to generate TIFF or EPS images for almost any barcode and drop that you can imagine. And third was OT Smart Field Palette from Objective Technologies, a comprehensive collection of objects for performing verified data entry. Using smart fields, you can all but eliminate data verification from your application program because the input objects do that verification for you. And the winner is OT Palette.
Secondly, I'd like to give recognition to everybody else on this list. Objectware is an emerging field. We've got some excellent people doing objects. And I think we're going to continue to produce an amazing suite of objects, both ourselves and other people in the field.
Anyway, seriously. The software category dates back to the late 70s, and the first spreadsheet, VisiCalc, which, as some of you may remember, made a lot of money for one of Steve Jobs' previous companies by selling a lot of Apple IIs. And after all this time, our spreadsheet expectations are pretty well defined. Fast, powerful number crunching, powerful programming tools, a wide variety of charts, and good-looking printouts. This year's nominees offer significant improvements in all these areas. They are Mesa from Athena Design, a program that offers a very short learning curve to experienced spreadsheet users, whether they're coming from 1, 2, 3, or Excel. Solution from AppSoft, another brand new program with a simple design and easy to edit 3D charts. Quester from Xanthus Institute International, a brand new app that takes full advantage of the Next interface and database tools. And the winner is Mesa from Athena.
Thanks to the folks who had faith in me from the beginning. I'd like to thank my mom. Hi, Mom. I'd like to thank the folks from Athena Design, especially Tracy Kugelman, Linda Julian, and Sue Rankin. They keep the place together. They keep tech support happening. They keep me sane, and they keep our marketplace well educated. I'd like to thank a few people who trusted me early on, Chris Bradley, Vince Jordan, and Ted Shelton. And I'd like to thank Bambi Fernandez from Next, who's put out no... Okay, so she's everybody's mother. I'd also like to give very, very special thanks to two people who really brought me into the community. My experience in the Next Step community, or the Next community, for the first time at the Super Seminar in Washington, D.C. about 2 years ago. I went down with Charles Perkins, spent 12 hours in a car with him, and he really, he taught me about what it was to be a Next programmer. And then I met Andy Stone, and Andy Stone taught me what it was to be a Next developer. And those two guys have really contributed a lot to me, contributed a lot to Mesa, and I think they've contributed a lot to making Next Step the way it is. I'd also like to thank the folks from Next, especially Steve Jobs, who seems to be able to get religion into anybody about just about anything. People in this room are just, I've met the most intelligent, the most wonderful people in this community, and they've been brought together by Next, and it's just great. Thank you all very much.
In the hotly competitive, tough category of graphic arts, which is my favorite, the judges sifted through tools for the publishing professional. These ranged from general purpose tools to specialty applications to system software enhancements to crucial utility programs. And it's difficult to compare a page layout program with a file format conversion utility. But the judges waded through all the offerings with an eye toward how each app, big or small, allowed the publishing professional to better do his or her job, and how well the software implemented NeXTWorld's unique advantages in this field. The nominees are Image from AppSoft, the NeXTStep answer to imagery touch leader Adobe Photoshop. Virtuoso from AltSys, a cutting-edge illustration and single-page design tool. And OneVision from TMS GmbH, a surprising newcomer that offers professionals a complete publishing environment. And the winner is Virtuoso. Yeah.
It doesn't get much better than this. You get to develop for Next Step and you win an award too. I'd like to thank the judges for this honor. I'd like to thank all the people at AltSys because almost everyone played a part. And I'd like to thank Next for providing the environment that gave us the incentive to go beyond what we'd done before.
Communication and
NeXTSTEP to Intel processors only underscores the critical need users have for exchanging information. With this in mind, the Bob judges looked at a wide range of mature software packages concentrating on interface, interoperability, speed, data reliability, and ease of use. Each of our nominees offered users solutions to bring NeXTSTEP into heterogeneous environments and communicate data around the world. The nominees are NX Fax from Black and White Software, state-of-the-art fax modem software supporting a variety of high-speed modems, and SoftPC from Insignia Solution, the venerable standard for DOS and Windows emulation. Coexist from Pentacom Software, an innovative connection for users seeking to combine the power of NeXTSTEP and NeXTWorld. And the winner is NX Fax. Yes.
The next category is, well, we've done this before. This would have been a new one this year, but they're all new. So in content and information category, NeXTWorld contributing editor, Seth Ross.
Computers are great tools for processing information, but without sources of content and information, they risk becoming useless, devoid of value. In the content and information category, the Bob judges considered a variety of products that bring spark and life to the platform. The best of these products were usable by all NeXTSTEP users, from novice to expert, because they add that critical missing piece, knowledge. Looking around, we found a wide variety of content products. Everything from CD-ROMs containing all the public domain software for NeXT, to an electronic sampling of European birds. The best products we saw consisted of a CD-ROM and an accompanying application. The nominees are Sex, Lies, and CD-ROM from the Bay Area NeXT Group, a collection of public domain information and applications for NeXTSTEP. The NeXTSTEP tips, techniques, and demonstration applications with a sophisticated application ordering system that lets people purchase software for their workstations by electronic mail. And the winner is the electronic app reference.
Thank you so much. Most of you know that my background is in the user community, and when I looked at NeXTSTEP software for the first time and saw how wonderful it was, I wish that I had software like that to purchase. For the 25 years I was working for Hearst and Warehousing, and we set about to find a way to put together the wonderful shrink-wrapped applications that we have, and all of these wonderful services and templates and modules and things that make NeXTSTEP what it is. And it's unbelievable to a small company like us that more than 450 of you folks are cooperating with us, and people like NeXTWorld are cooperating with us, and Steve and his people at Next are cooperating with us. I think we've done a good thing, and I hope it really shows over the next 3 days, because I think we're on the right. So thanks again.
We're in the information management category. NeXTWorld senior editor for reviews, Dan Lavin.
Well, when I was working on the expo last week and I had 25 Right Now files open and the Windows thing went down off the page, I realized the need for this category even more. In this category, we considered a wide range of personal and group calendaring, address book, freeform database, text search, and specialty programs. With NeXTSTEP, you create so much information, the need is even greater than on other platforms. We found a handful of standout programs among a big group of less original offerings, and we even put one product in that most people don't think of as an information manager, but when we looked at it, really was. We expect to see continued innovation in this area as developers take advantage of NeXTSTEP's collaborative environment and users move closer towards the goal of a true paperless office. And the nominees are a notebook from Millennium Software Labs, an innovative combination of freeform database and outlining technology for maintaining all kinds of personal and group information. And, pencil me in, from Sarah Software, which we found to be easily the best of the crop of NeXTSTEP calendaring software. By the way, we disqualified Ceres's other information management product, SBook, because it was developed by a NeXTWorld employee. Mathematica from Wolfram Research, a groundbreaking application for mathematical analysis and visualization. Mathematica qualifies in this category because of its notebook feature, which is used to organize, present, and exchange mathematical information, even going so far as to publish entire books. And the winner is Notebook from
The next category is for development and authoring tools, and to present it, we have NeXTWorld contributing editor Charles Perkins. And doesn't he look great in his touch?
For those of you who don't know, this is a particularly appropriate category for me because my own authoring tool, Voila, has threatened to ship every quarter for about the last 2 years. So I'd like to start a new category tonight, a little bit of a tradition, and announce that I've won the award for Best of Vapor in this category. Seriously, this category is very important to me. I think that developing tools above NeXTSTEP really pushes us all into the stratosphere, and we should think more about these tools tonight and future tools that we all want to see on the platform. In a particularly surprising move, in my opinion, included tonight is free software on this list, and I'd like to see that happen more and more to try to include some of what Richard Stallman has done, because I think it can fit well with our products. Anyway, tonight in the Developer and Authoring Tools category, the judges considered compilers, programming languages, and authoring systems, and they found an entirely new market emerging for these tools that augments NeXTSTEP's unclaimed development environment. I think this is a new category, by the way, which all of us should contribute to. Some of these tools build on NeXTSTEP's multimedia capabilities, allowing you to easily construct applications that access high-quality sound, graphics, and video. The nominees tonight are the GNU C compiler from the Free Software Foundation, which is a freeware compiler by Richard Stallman. Callisto from Imagine Multimedia, which is an entry-level multimedia program that makes authoring of CDIs as easy as dragging and dropping icons. And Craftman from Xanthus International, an authoring program that brings the power of object-oriented programming to a new class of programming. And the winner is Craftman by Xanthus International.
Just want to say we are in 2 categories this year. Next year, we'll be in a lot more categories. Thank you very much. In the category for utilities, Daniel Keto.
So one of the great things about NeXTSTEP, in my opinion, is that you don't need a lot of utilities. A few years ago, I subscribed to the Mac User magazine, and every month a magazine would come and would recommend 5 more must-have utilities for Macintosh. There were screensavers, there were disk doublers, there were line benders, there were boomerangs, there were flying toasters, there was a talking moose. After a couple of months, I realized I have to buy it next before Mac Connection started refusing me credit. Still, there's a couple of things that Next, in its infinite wisdom, left out of NeXTSTEP. And fortunately, we've got some very creative developers to address those few areas where we still need utilities. Utilities are an area where some of the most creative Next developers really shine. The nominees are, starting from the middle, Metro Tools from Metrosoft. It's the Cuisinart of utilities. It's got a screensaver, an application launcher, an archiver, a sound converter, a font converter and installer, and a file locator. 6 tools in one. Engage. Desktop is the new name for the product, from Millennium Software Labs, which combines a screensaver with a clever tool for keeping all your most used applications and projects at your fingertips. The third nominee is SafetyNet from Systemic Software. We reviewed a beta version back in the fall 1992 issue of NeXTWorld and gave it a 4.3 rating and as the best backup software for NeXTWorld. So let's see. Terrible mess up here. Let me see if I can find the envelope. The winner is SafetyNet.
Actually, I'd just like to thank my customers who kept Systemic Software going, and the guys at Pangea and Blacksmiths who have kept me going. Thank you very much.
Presenting the award in the category of 3D and CAD software is NeXTWorld contributor Dave Jacobs.
In the last 10 years, 3D and CAD technology has come out of the hands of a few priests and magicians and into the hands of artists and a few pioneering desktop users. The Bob judges have found all the nominees to be very mature products this year, each taking unique approaches to dealing with 3D information. The nominees are Front Face from Endpoint, Solid Thinking from Gestel Italia, and ZZ Volume from Aries. And the winner is Solid Thinking from Gestel.
Thank you all. We'd like to thank NeXTWorld for a very strong support, and we hope that free application will be one of the so many reasons that because people have to use NeXTWorld. Thank you again.
Category of best peripheral, there is Evan Carling, another NeXTWorld contributor.
The peripherals category is simultaneously the most and least diverse for which awards are being presented. It includes all manner of hardware and enabling software that are peripheral to NeXTSTEP computers, with the exception of communications. We narrowed the field to products that couple NeXTSTEP specific software with industry standards hardware. The excellent software in the category fell disproportionately into a narrower field. All 3 nominees are imaging solutions. This reflects an intense interest in imaging and the power of that NeXTSTEP brings to this field. The nominees are Gold Leaf, Image Setter Extra Set, ScanX, Color, and Power Scan by HSE Microcomputer, the Talis T1 Film Recorder and ImageMate by Talis Corporation, and the winner is Gold Leaf Image Setter.
Thanks a lot. This is great. NeXTWorld is an example of a very simple product that does a few things very well. And it was only possible with the greatness of NeXTSTEP and the great image centers that Linotype Helmet. I'd like to thank everybody at Gold Leaf who
is our favorite backpage columnist, John Perry Barlow.
You know, when Dan called me up last week, I was in Beijing and the connection wasn't very good, and I thought he wanted me to present the Bob Award for the best product in a submerging market. And then I thought it had something to do with the Church of the Subgenius, and I was really confused. But actually, I think, you know, none of us would be here if we weren't impressed and inspired by crazy acts of faith. And, you know, the best thing I've seen to compare with what it takes to produce some of these products at this time on this platform is I used to skydive, and there was a jump team that did exhibition jumping where one guy would go out of the plane without a parachute, and the other guy would catch him. And that's kind of what happens when you've got a very slender niche on a very slender niche. But I think I actually am holding out some degree of faith that the guy with the parachute is going to get there in time to catch these fellas. He just told me he would. And so I'm going to present the nominees for the best new products in emerging markets. They are Screen Machine from Dart, Computer System, I guess, GmbH, a video frame grabber that restores the next dimension capabilities of the platform. And this is a multimedia product. Somebody once said that recently that multimedia is still a $0 billion a year business. So these people are definitely to be congratulated. Taskmaster from Lighthouse Design, a project manager that leverages the company's long experience in object-oriented software design, and you need good project management software in this area. Didn't get that. Well, all right. Also, VertSpace, a piece of software that I think will become near to my heart as the burgeoning new market for laptop NeXTWorld machines. I saw this software recently running on a laptop, and it's the only thing that would really make NeXTWorld fully usable on a laptop, and it will. And the winner is, somewhere buried under all this paper, the winner is Screen Machine.
I'd like to thank some of the people at Next who brought me into this market more than 4 years ago. Unfortunately, some of these people are not with Next anymore for the reasons you know. They are John Eisen and Alex Fitz, and I also like to thank all the people who came over to Europe and who believed in the European market. I'm from Europe, I'm from Dart in Hamburg, and I think there are great products coming from Europe, and we need some people in the US to believe in these products in the European market and to support this. And I'd like to thank Dan Levin, who came over to CeBIT to look at all these products, and I think that's the reason why we were nominated tonight. So, thank you.
Congratulations to all our product category winners. Now we come to 3 special awards, and we're running pretty late, so I'm going to try to move through this fairly quickly. Most of the programs tonight celebrate shrink wrap software, and but what we're doing is in the magazine as well is we also profile outstanding uses of NeXTSTEP at customer sites, and also the outstanding individuals and companies who are making a difference in the Next community. And tonight we'll honor 2 of these. Presenting the award for outstanding NeXTSTEP implementation at a customer site is NeXTWorld Managing Editor Elliot Bergson.
applications isn't a pie-in-the-sky dream. There are lots of customers out there right now who are using NeXTSTEP to change the way they do business. At NeXTWorld, we've been following this trend with great interest. Sometimes that's been hard work because many customers rightly view their applications as a competitive advantage and want to keep their development secret. Even so, NeXTWorld has had a chance to see some of the most exciting custom applications out there. In the financial services industry, trading companies are moving billions of dollars a day around the world. In the medical field, information is reaching doctors in time to save lives. In manufacturing and retail, NeXTSTEP is shortening production cycles and providing up-to-the-minute customer service and support for everything from automobiles to cellular service. You simply can't buy applications like these. Our winner was chosen not only for technical expertise. All the apps we've seen get more technically advanced as fast as site engineers get their hands on new tools and ideas, but for the far-reaching consequences of the development effort and the consistent vision pushing NeXTSTEP into the telecommunications industry. And with partnerships between phone companies, cable firms, and entertainment conglomerates popping up all over the place, that push will lead into our homes in the very near future. For its development efforts in building and maintaining its state-of-the-art fiber optics ATM network, our first bob for outstanding NeXTSTEP implementation at a customer site goes to Williams Telecommunications Advanced Technology Group in the Woodlands, Texas.
For those who are not totally familiar with WillTel, we began a project about 2 years ago in which it was purposed to develop a new technology called ATM, asynchronous transmission mode. The deployment of this technology is at hand and will likely change the way the industry is currently transmitting its communications. ATM looks like to be the backbone, the new backbone for the communications superhighway of the future, which like Vice President Gore and a lot of media are talking about. We there at WillTel, we've got a large groups of dedicated developers, and we saw with NeXTSTEP, an object-oriented paradigm, a tool which has allowed us to do the job that was necessary. And as ATM will affect the communications industry, we know that NeXTSTEP and the object-oriented techniques will affect the computer industry. I'd like to thank NeXTSTEP, all the applications, and the people who are involved in making what we do a reality. Thank you.
Since our early issues of NeXTWorld, we've sought to foster the notion of a Next community. The NeXTWorld is like a small town composed of developers, customers, user groups, consultants, resellers, and Next employees. Almost everyone in town has connections to someone else, and there's an ethic of supporting each other and lending a helping hand. Later on, as the community expands, it may become more of an anonymous big city where people have to fend for themselves. But for now, the NeXTWorld remains a model of community spirit and volunteerism. Tonight, we present our award for service to the community to an individual who has played a key role as a leading customer, as an organizer of an influential corporate user group, and as an advisor to third-party developers, and as a tireless cheerleader for the Next cause. At the U.S. Air Force, he was the decision maker who took a chance on Next, and in the process helped launch the company's successful business in the government market. He then played an instrumental role in organizing ProNext, a group of Next's largest customers that has served as a sounding board and a reality check for Next's technical and marketing decisions. Since retiring from military service, he's worked with several third-party developers to define and improve their products, and he has served Next in a sales support role and in advising company executives on strategic directions. And he's also generously supported NeXTWorld magazine with his ideas and influence. Therefore, for his boundless enthusiasm and his can-do spirit, we present our Best of Breed Award for Community Service to retired Air Force Colonel Jim Opfer.
pioneers, a lot of you in the room go out without your parachutes, right? A lot of arrows in the front of us, a lot of arrows in the back of us. A lot of the pioneers in the customer world discovered that there was a new world out there we needed to civilize and tame. There was this virtual corporation. We had to deal with re-engineering. We had to deal with networks connecting everyone to everyone. We had to deal with something that some of us said maybe was something the equivalent of an organizational operating system. How you can put your software together and change it as your organization, your business, and the world changes. And it's been fun doing that. But what's really exciting is we all know what the settlers asked the pioneers. They say, is it safe out there? And the next few days, we're going to have a whole lot of settlers show up at NeXTWorld. And say, is it safe out there? It is safe out there because Next has escaped the black box, so let's go show them. All right.
Finally, we turn back to products for our last award of the night. A new computer platform is not enough to produce a solid, functional product that's similar to successful products on other platforms. A breakthrough product must take advantage of the special characteristics of the platform to provide an entirely new experience not available anywhere else. That's why we decided to determine our top award on the basis of innovation. The best of breed winner for product innovation is not simply the best of show. It is the product that embodies the freshest ideas and gives users reason to choose Next over a competitive system. Our winner tonight qualifies on that score by combining various existing ideas in a wholly original format that raises user productivity and group interaction to a new level. After having examined every shipping product for the Next platform, our judges voted to confer the Best of Breed Award for Most Innovative Product to Millennium Software Labs for Notebook 1.1.
I don't really know what to say. Well, thanks to the Academy. I really didn't expect this. This is a great award, and well, I want to thank my parents, of course, and thank Kraft Macaroni and Cheese for getting me through 1992. Job in the world because I get to try it first before all of you do. But it's pretty amazing because from my standpoint, I've been driven by the idea that an individual or at least a group of people, a small group, could do something really original and neat and wouldn't be owned by Microsoft. So anyway, for all of you that really believe that there's a future for the small guys out there, this is a great award. So,
NeXTWorld publisher to use a record.
Thanks, everybody. I hope you had a good time. We really appreciate you all coming, and congratulations to the Bob winners, and congratulations to everyone here for their dedication and commitment and sacrifices. We think it's a great community, and not just for the small guys, but for the people who really make a commitment and a personal commitment to innovation and sticking by what's right. So we do have a reception next door. We hope you all can join us and have a little fun. The next few days, I think, is when the fun really begins, but we're probably all going to be too busy to enjoy it. So please join us for some fun. And afterward, there is a user group party over at the Up and Down Club on Folsom between 7th and 8th for the user group community is putting that on. So thanks again, and we'll see you next door.